The government has approved to promote India now as a manufacturing hub for EVs. A lot of question marks it actually throws up. So let me take those points forward. Hormazd Sorabjee, the editor at Autocar India, joins in on the show right now. Hormazd, hi, afternoon. Good to chat with you as always. And, you know, Hormazd, this is exactly what Tesla was asking for. Do they now get a green signal? Is it a go-ahead? Should we assume that this is going to mark Tesla's entry into India?
Absolutely. I think this is what Tesla was wanting. And clearly, if you see just a 15% duty on cars with a CRF value to $35,000, they're not very expensive cars if you look at where EVs are. So I think this actually what it will do, it will accelerate investment from a lot of multinationals. Now, Volkswagen has also been thinking of investing up to $1 billion in EVs. This might accelerate that because then a whole bunch of their CBUs will be at a very attractive price. And other OEMs as well. There's even talk of Ford looking at coming back into India with EVs. They've also, that's just rumors about that. That's still some time off, but this could really accelerate a lot of multinational investment in the EV space. But I'm not sure how good it is for the current domestic players vis-a-vis Maruti, Mahindra, and Tata, because clearly, their high-end vehicles will compete in this price point. So that I don't think for them it's been a great announcement.
You meet a lot of OEMs who have plans on the EV side and expanding footprint in that side. But what are your observations as far as the ecosystem on ancillary services around it is concerned? Is that also coming up in equal measure, or that's lagging?
Absolutely. You see, there were basically three hurdles for EVs. It was price, range, and the charging infrastructure. Price, people have got an appetite for it. And once you're hooked onto an EV, you want to keep driving it, because what people don't realize, they're fantastic cars to drive. Very smooth, very easy, no noise, stress-free, that sort of thing. The range isn't too much of an issue either, because typically they are used in city environments. Charging infrastructure has turned out to be the absolute single biggest hurdle. And really, it's falling way behind the adoption and demand of EVs. In fact, I think a lot of people who haven't secured charging, or most people who haven't secured charging infrastructure at home, don't end up buying an EV. And this really is a problem, especially in cities. Not everyone has access to home charging. And that doesn't look like it's improving, as rapidly as demand should. So I think that's going to be a huge hurdle. And that's one of the biggest reason why EV sales are sort of flattening out.
But Hormazd, you talked about Tesla, that this is pretty much a red carpet which has been put down for them. What about BYD? Do you think they can also get approvals under this? And also, what would it mean for the local players? Do you think they would compete in the same value zones that the current companies, M&M, etc., have their portfolio in? Or do you think this will cater to a completely different market, and hence these companies shouldn't be worried about too much competition?
Well, I think you have at the lower end, you've got Tata Motors, which is at a very kind of, a low end of the market over there. But then you even have MG, and now with JSW, they're going to make an announcement next week what their plans are. They can also take advantage of this, with pricing their CBUs very, very competitively. Now, we know how competitive the pricing is in China as is. I mean, the recent BYD Seal, which was launched at 41 lakhs, expensive in absolute terms, but if you see the spec, you see the performance, it's an absolute steal. Now, you can imagine that with just 15% duty, how competitive that would be. It would eat straight into the market of the domestic players. There is Mahindra, which are planning a whole range of, SUVs at the higher end, and looking at their specs, they will be in the 25 to 30 lakh bracket. So there is going to be, let's say, competition over there, and severe and really serious competition. As far as BYD and the Chinese go, I think, JSW and SAIC have shown there's a backdoor entry where if they partner with an Indian OEM, approvals do come through, and it's already come through for JSW, investing into SAIC. So that there is a backdoor entry for the Chinese to come. I don't think they can come, absolutely 100% on their own, the way MG Motor did when they first came. Obviously, we know what the issues are, and a lot of geopolitical issues, kind of being a dampener for a lot of the Chinese companies. But I think it's great for the consumer, actually. It's absolutely fantastic. I think charging infra really has to improve. It's really a huge problem. I don't think that's really being addressed on the war footing it should be. And even the discoms, power supply in certain areas, it's all really needs to be sorted out. But I think for consumers, the prospect of getting some really high-tech, cutting-edge EVs at a very good price, nothing could be better for the consumer.
I'm sure you're going to be the first amongst those who's going to test drive a India-made Tesla, right?
Yeah, look forward to that. Well, they'll have to fix a lot because the last one they had, the ground clearance was terrible. So that's the first thing they'll have to raise and get that sorted.
Okay, and I'm sure they're making note of that. Good chatting with you, Hormazd, as always. Thanks for taking the time out.
Thanks.